Hey everybody, welcome back to Jay's Smokehouse. If you're new to the channel, I'm Jay. I'd just like to address something I've been seeing on the internet quite a bit, is questions of, am I allergic to marijuana? They're saying that this new batch that they're smoking is really making them cough, it's making their chest hurt, it's really making them not feel good, ill, all this other stuff. And so I wanted to address something that I have experience with, and that is mold in marijuana. So mold can be present in marijuana, especially with amateurs or people who don't understand how much of an art form drying your marijuana is. So there's a lot that goes into it. You need to chop down your plant. You need to hang it upside down to dry just like any other herb for 5 to 7 days, sometimes longer. Really depends on how much bud you have on your plant. And then you need to take it down, trim it, and then you put it into like a jar. It's called curing. So you put it into a jar, and what that does is you seal it, and it slowly draws out the moisture from your marijuana. And then that way you can do what's called burping. You open the jar, and it releases that moisture, that air that's in there. You do that for a couple minutes a day, and then you seal it back. And it just keeps doing that slowly and slowly over sometimes 3 months. I usually do a little less than that, but honestly, the more you do it, the better. It's kind of like a whiskey. The longer it goes, the better the taste can get, the better the aroma, and the better the potency. And so sometimes I try to go a little bit longer. Sometimes I've gone 6 months. Sometimes I've gone 1 month. I don't recommend doing 1 month. Anyway, if you don't do your drying correctly and you don't have your humidity set to a proper setting and you don't have instruments to help you and you don't know what you're doing, it's very possible for you to get mold into your marijuana. And so what I would suggest, what I used to do is I used to just jam bud into my grinder and grind it up. And so now what I do is I open up the bud and I will look inside of it. And when you look inside of it, it will look kind of like cotton or like a cobweb. It's very white usually. It's very white and cottony. You know, when you pull it apart, it looks like strands of cotton being pulled apart. And that is mold inside of your marijuana. Now, I have ways that I do with extraction to get rid of mold spores. I will go into that in another video. If anyone expresses interest in that or would want to see that video, I will do that in the future. Another common rookie mistake would be jamming your bud into your jars just too packed full. It doesn't allow enough room for the moisture to seep out of all the bud, and so you can get little pockets of moisture that just seep into a big chunk of your bud. And so I recommend when you're filling your jars, and please don't use plastic. It will add plasticky taste to your marijuana bud. So I would suggest using glass. And so when you're filling your glass jars or containers, do not fill them too full. You want there to be room, air, movement around, air getting around all the bud. You want it to all be seeping out that moisture at the same time. And so even if you have to purchase a lot more jars or containers, do so. That's what I would do. Now, please like, subscribe, hit that bell button if you like what you hear or if you want to see any other videos in the future. I would love to hear from you guys. And if you have anything that you would like to hear or be addressed, please let me know in the comments. And until then, Jay is going to go roll a J.